Okay, so we have all of our parts here. Everything's been meticulously washed. Even though they're new parts, you still got to clean them. The oil that's on them, I've said it before, is not a lubricant. It's an anti-corrosion deal. You've got to get that off of there so your assembly oil and lubes and greases and stuff will stick on there without just sliding off, or they're not going to do you much good when you go to fire it up, right? All new rocker arms. The old ones were kind of a knockoff. They were stainless steel roller rocker. They're like, them $300 sets that you find. Most of them were seized up and locked up, and it's a very low hour engine. If you recall, this was just in for repair, not really a rebuild, but we ended up virtually doing a complete on it anyways. Some nice big aftermarket strong push rods. Eliminate some of the flex. The cam was previously lubed. So we got lots of grease on the cam already. We're going to grease up our lifters. And just slide them in. Now, pretty sure I did a whole deal here where we talked about our lifter bores and whatnot. This one of the things we had to do with it, somebody had actually knurled the lifter bores. If you can imagine, of all things, I guess they were trying to take up some of the slack in it. So my option was to either bush all of our lifter bores or find a different block. Now this is no number matching, super rare engine like that. And I happen to have a few of my core pile that were just in so much better shape. So we just substituted the block, give the guy a better block. We'll keep that one at some point. If I'm building something where I'm going to be putting billet main caps on it and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be getting a lot of machine work done, then we'll bush the lifter bores. Okay, so we have all of our lifters in. One of the things that you can do, or I always do, or I guess I should say you have to do, is after you get your engine all cleaned up and before you start the assembly process, take your lifters and put some lightweight oil on them. And you should be able to set them lifters in that bore and push them up, and they should fall right back down on their own. You should be able to just make them go up and down. There should be no resistance in them. Of course, you can't have any slop, but I think in another video I showed you how I built a tool to check that. So that's important. Once you put your assembly lube on there, it's a little bit thicker, so it won't stop them from turning, but it will make them so they don't, quite flop up and down quite as easy. So now we're going to put our push rods in. You have to put a little bit of lube on your push rods where they run through your guide plates. That's kind of important. Of course, these were all meticulously clean, and take a nozzle with some brake clean or WD-40 or something, spray through, make sure you got no blockage on your oiling holes. Very important, of course. Oh, I got that one. Wrong way. Gonna put a grease on the top of each one of these. just on the push rod where it goes through the guide plate. We don't have to get too much on there. Okay, so here's our new rocker arms. We're going to lube them up really good and start assembling them. Not going to use grease on that. I'm just going to use a very good quality so many different kinds again. Just, you know, get yourself a good quality lube. You don't have to get hung up on exactly what type you use. These rocker arms, brand new. They've all been meticulously washed, cleaned. We're just going to get a little bit of this lube on the pivot point, the fulcrum, and the roller tip. These you can put on. You can rotate the fulcrum, obviously. The flat side of the fulcrum goes up. This is a great customer. This guy, it was like, I guess all my customers are actually, to tell you the truth. Well, no compromises. Whatever it needs, it gets. And I guess actually, to tell you the truth, I don't think I'd do an engine if that wasn't the case. I'd tell them to take it elsewhere. And, well, you know, I have done that. This whole engine and hot rod and drag racing deal has been such an important part of my life, my entire adult life. Actually, it started even before I was an adult with mini bikes and stuff. I won't do it with a compromise. If I can't do it my way, or better, if they want, you know, upgrade even further. If I can't have that, I'll just refuse the job. We'll put our poly locks all on now. Of course, we're going to cycle it through many times while we're adjusting our valves, and we'll be looking for that interference issue or any other interference issue, right? I keep a good number of these in stock. A good number of push rods in 50 thou length increments. Nothing worse than trying to get an engine done for a guy to go racing the next day, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and your push rods are 50 thou too short. So we just went and I grabbed this wrench, this socket, all of this. This is in my engine clean room, my assembly room. These tools do not leave my assembly room under any circumstance. These tools have been meticulously cleaned. There's no dirt up inside the hex head or anything like that. So if you guys are planning on doing a few engines, get yourself another set of tools. You know, there's nothing worse than meticulously cleaning everything and then getting a whole bunch of junk on it while you're assembling it, right? But we want to have a very exacting measurement on the lifters. I'm very particular about that. I have to see 30 thou preload. And the only way I can do that is I need to make sure that them lifters are pumped up. And that's easy to do. You don't have to get in there with gauges and a whole bunch of weird stuff. We'll do the first one with a dial gauge. And then we'll see how much, well, I know exactly how much you rotate these to get your 30 thou, but we're going to go through that anyways to show you guys. And then we just set our lash like that on all of them. That does not work on a mechanical cam. So the best way to do this now, so we know that we get all of them set roughly, so there's no loose ones, is we turn the engine half a turn. Okay? And we just see if any of them are loose. Some of them will be, see? No, this is not how you'd set a solid lifter cam, but this works really good for this. Or when we're doing our final lash, we won't do it this way. Or our final preload, sorry, my apologies. I watched somebody's YouTube vid here the other day, and they were saying, oh wow, wasn't one of mine, but somebody was commenting on, wow, I've never seen anybody use one of them speed wrenches in a very long time. It's like my favorite tool, or some of these are. My father bought these when he came back from overseas. He was a veteran, and so that would be quite a while before I was born even. And I have a good number of his tools. Some people say you should put them away and keep them and treasure them. I'd rather use them and keep them and treasure them. Okay, so this just about rounds this up, wraps this one up. I don't know how much time I have left on my vid. There, I got to find that one anyways. See, we turn that 4 half turns, and in that time, every lifter will have been on the base circle.